verse 31 to 32, Luke 15. My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. It's so easy to put ourselves in the sandals of the prodigal son who's coming home. But it's harder sometimes to see ourselves in the older brother for whom no special treatment is needed. Because he's right, the favor shown his brother isn't fair as we might understand it, but it's what his brother needed. His need was just that great, and his father's grace was greater still. The older brother hasn't actually lost anything. He matters as well. In fact, his father says, you've got everything I ever wanted for you. But I think it's interesting that even though he has everything his father wants for him, he hasn't had it easy. He's worked hard. He hasn't had a chance to party with his friends. And so just because you belong to a community that hasn't experienced racism doesn't mean you haven't had hardship, heartbreak, that you haven't endured discrimination. It just means that on this particular issue, you may not be the one bleeding, but you might be the person that's needed to help bind up someone else's wounds and help them find their way home. There's something special about that feast as well. It spills out. So the steps that the father takes to restore his son bring a community together. When you kill the fattened calf, you don't just have it in your house. Like, everyone gets to come to the party. And maybe those friends that the older brother wanted to see are already in the party. So the party is there, but just not as the older brother would have figured he'd see it. It's not a reward for having done the right thing. It's to celebrate the fact that their brother is home, that they are one family, that they're united. And maybe that party couldn't happen until that had happened, until they were all together again.